more sophisticated basis for segmentation is a need-based segmentation. A need-based segmentation tries to address what are the priorities, the barriers to purchase, the key buying factors of why a person decides to purchase this product or hire this service instead of another one. Think of, for example, airlines. Airlines try to segment customers on a need base. Think of business travelers that, for example, may be looking to pay high purchase items because they absolutely need to get a good night's sleep on a transatlantic flight versus coach passengers, which are just looking to simply for the most cost-effective way to get from point A to point B. So airlines will segment on a need-based segmentation. Finally, there is a psychographic basic for segmenting customers. This is perhaps the most sophisticated way of segmenting customers. This basis for segmentation aims to find out about the passions, the values, the attitudes, or even the appetite for risk, or what detonates or triggers emotional connections with customers. For example, Nestlé Purina, the leading company in the world for pet food, typically tends to segment cat owners based on psychographic profiles. They try to determine what is the level of connection or the meaning of the relationship between an owner and its pet, and they try to position different products at different price points and in different channels, even with different brands, to try to address those different psychographic profiles of consumers. So obviously, there are trade-offs between these four forms or four bases for segmentation. So let me show you what are the main trade-offs. The best way to understand them have to do with ease of implementation and the depth of the insights that we're getting. The ease of implementation, the easiest to implement and to acquire and to verify the data is the social demographic segmentation, and the hardest one is the psychographic, as we stated before. But the depth of the insights are much richer with the psychographics than with the demographic-based segmentation, and the behavior and the need-based segmentation lies somewhere in between. So we need to understand that what are essentially the trade-off and what's the viability of using one type of segmentation versus another kind of segmentation. Because at the end of the day, any sort of segmentation, for it to be useful, it needs to satisfy three principles. First of all, it has to help me identify a particular and homogeneous set of customers and identify how much they're worth. Because a firm obviously needs to decide how much are they willing to invest in this particular set of segments. But in addition, it has to identify specific customer needs so that you're able to design a unique value proposition to them, and that the segmentation should also be able to help you design the positioning of the product for that specific customer segment group. And last but not least, it has to provide a clue for how best to serve those customers. Any particular set of customers prefer to buy in a certain location, or prefer to buy in a certain way, or prefer to pay in a certain way. So a useful segmentation has to be able to give you some clue as to how best to address a specific customer segment.